Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to take a deep dive into some AI tools that are really changing how we learn and work with information. Specifically, we're going to be thinking about them in the context of this generative AI professional prompt engineering guide.
Yeah, this is really exciting stuff. We're going beyond just like reading about AI. We're really going to get into how we can use these tools to understand and work with all this complex material out there.
Exactly. Think about it. What if you had like a personalized knowledge base that you'd built up from all your research?
Oh, yeah.
And then you could use AI to have these discussions about these complex topics and even have your own chatbot tutor.
Oh, that'd be amazing. So let's start with Google NotebookLM.
Okay.
It's this awesome tool where you can keep all your research papers in one place, so you don't have to hunt through all these different files.
Yeah, that's a huge time saver. No more digging through folders or
Yes, exactly. But it's way more than just a place to store your stuff.
Right. One of the things that I thought was really cool was how NotebookLM helps you see the connections between all these papers. It's not just a bunch of individual articles. It actually helps you build a bigger picture of the subject.
Yeah, it finds these links between them, like themes and stuff. Let's say you're researching climate change. It could connect a paper on rising sea levels to another one about, deforestation.
Yeah.
So you can see how these things are all, related.
That's such a good example. It shows how it's not just about taking notes, but about really understanding the connections in the bigger picture.
Exactly. It helps you synthesize everything.
Right.
But one thing to remember is that right now, NotebookLM has a limit. You can only have 50 sources per notebook.
Oh, okay.
So you might need to be strategic about which sources you pick, or maybe break your research down into smaller notebooks, that are more focused.
That makes sense. It's a super powerful tool. But yeah, it's good to know the limitations.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's move on to Illuminate. This one, what really struck me was how it takes these really dense research papers and turns them into these dynamic conversations. It uses AI to pull out insights and everything.
Yeah, imagine you're trying to get through this really complicated research paper. Illuminate can make it so much easier to understand.
Right. It's like having this study group.
Yeah.
But with an AI that's there to guide the discussion and point out the most important things.
Exactly. And this is super useful when you're working with other people on research projects and make sure everyone's on the same page and can have a more, engaging and productive discussion.
And you know what? It's so easy to use. You just pop in the URL of the paper, and then you choose, if you want to listen to it or read it.
AI, it does all the hard work.
Exactly. Okay, now let's talk about what I think is the most amazing tool here, these ChatGPT Custom GPTs. Imagine having an AI tutor that's, trained specifically on the material you're learning.
Oh, yeah, that's where it gets really exciting. You could have one for any book or resource you're using.
Right, so you could be hey, explain this complex concept to me, or give me some examples, or even help me connect the dots between these different ideas.
Exactly.
And, the guide gives a really great example. Say you're reading a paper on the algorithm of thoughts, and you're trying to understand how it's different from the tree of thoughts. You could ask your GPT to, break it down and explain the key differences.
Oh, that's so cool. And you can customize them, to train them on specific chapters or even your own notes.
Yeah, so they're perfectly tailored to what you need.
It's like having, a personal expert available 204/7 who knows exactly what you're studying.
Exactly.
To set one up, you'll need a ChatGPT Plus Pro or Enterprise subscription.
Okay.
Then you go to the Explore GPTs menu and just follow the prompts.
Easy. You could even add images and things, right?
Yeah.
To make it more fun and personalized.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing to remember, before you start talking to your GPT, don't forget to click read the uploaded document.
Oh, right.
That way it's fresh in its memory and you get the best responses.
That makes sense. So we've got NotebookLM for building our knowledge base, Illuminate for having these really cool discussions, and custom GPTs for a truly personalized learning experience. Now, how do these tools all work together?
Oh, yeah. Good question. So the Generative AI Professional Prompt Engineering Guide has this workflow. It's super insightful.
Okay.
You start with NotebookLM to gather all your sources, pull out the key ideas. That builds the foundation for understanding the topic.
Right.
Then you can use Illuminate to take those insights and actually have a discussion about them. You can do this on your own or with other people.
Okay.
And then you bring in your custom GPT to dig into specific questions or concepts you want to explore more deeply.
I love how this like combines all three tools. So you're not just passively reading, you're really engaging with the material in all these different ways.
Exactly. And get this, you can even take the insights from all three tools and put them into shared study notes in NotebookLM. So you have this central hub for all your knowledge.
It's amazing how they work together to make learning so much more, interactive and effective.
It's really important to remember that these tools, they're not meant to, replace traditional learning
Oh, absolutely not.
or human interaction.
No, definitely not. They're just there to help us, to give us more ways to engage with information.
Exactly. And the guide really emphasizes that whole idea of active learning.
Yeah, and you know what I really liked?
Mm-hmm.
The guide actually includes these exercises, like hands-on stuff you can do to try these tools out.
Oh, yeah, I saw those.
So there's one where you import these research papers into NotebookLM,
Okay.
and it helps you create this thematic summary.
Oh, that's a good one. So you can really see how it connects everything, finds those overarching themes.
Exactly. And then there's another one where you actually get to train a custom GPT.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you upload a chapter from the guide, and then you get to ask it to clarify some of the more advanced prompting techniques.
That's really cool. You can really see how you can tailor these GPTs to your specific needs.
Exactly. And I thought this one was really interesting. They have one where you use Illuminate to discuss the implications of different prompting techniques.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Mm.
It shows how you can use Illuminate to have those more complex discussions,
Yeah.
explore the nuances.
Right. And it's in a collaborative setting, so it's not just you reading by yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just about passively reading. It's about getting in there and challenging your own ideas.
Exactly. And you know what else is cool? They don't just give you the instructions for the exercises. They also give you evaluation criteria.
Ah, that's smart. So you can really see if you understand it and if you're using it effectively.
Yeah, I thought that was really crucial. It helps you think critically, assess yourself. It's not just about following the steps. It's about really understanding the concepts.
Exactly. It's about mastering it,
Yeah.
not just consuming it passively.
Right.
These tools, they're really powerful for understanding more deeply and expanding your horizons.
And that brings us back to one of the core messages of the guide,
Gotcha.
that these tools, they're not here to replace human understanding.
Yeah.
They're here to amplify it.
Yeah. I think that's a really important point to emphasize. People worry that AI is going to make us, obsolete.
Totally.
But these tools are really about making us better.
Exactly. And the guide really shows what that collaboration can look like.
Yeah.
Between humans and AI.
Yeah, how AI can make learning more personal, how it can help people collaborate, help us engage with information more deeply.
It's really powerful.
It is. And this whole deep dive, it's really highlighted that potential.
For sure.
Like a fundamental shift in how we can approach learning, how we acquire knowledge.
Totally.
Yeah.
But, with this increased access to information comes a responsibility.
Oh, for sure.
We need to be careful about the potential downsides, make sure these tools are used ethically.
Right. So that means using them to help people understand, not to spread bias or misinformation.
Exactly. And we also need to remember that AI, as it is right now, it can't replace things like human intuition or creativity or empathy.
Absolutely. It can help with those things, but it can't replace them.
It's a tool.
Yeah.
And like any tool, it can be used in good ways or bad ways.
That's a great way to put it. It's up to us to use them for good.
Right. And I think it's so important to have these conversations now.
Yeah.
These technologies are still developing.
Right.
So we have this chance to shape their future.
Totally. Open discussion, collaboration, all that's so important. We have to be thoughtful, think about the benefits and the risks.
Exactly. So for our listeners out there who want to explore these tools, what would you suggest they do first?
Well, I definitely start with the guide.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It gives you a good overview of all these tools.
Yeah.
And it has lots of practical advice on how to use them.
Right. Plus, it has those real-world examples and exercises.
Exactly. So it's great for, people who are just starting out and people who have some experience already.
Right. And beyond the guide, there are so many resources online, in communities where you can connect with other people.
Oh, yeah. You can learn more about AI, share what you're learning.
It's a really exciting time to get into this field.
It is.
And as we've talked about, these tools can really change the way we learn and work and create.
For sure. But it's on us to make sure that happens in a responsible and ethical way so that these tools are used to help everyone.
It's really amazing to think about all the other things these tools could be used for. beyond education, right?
Oh, totally. We've been talking about learning, but it goes way beyond that.
I could see, like, researchers using NotebookLM to analyze all sorts of data,
Yeah.
finding connections, seeing trends in their field.
Like imagine a scientist studying a new disease. They could use NotebookLM to pull together all this research on genetics, symptoms, treatments.
Oh, wow.
And it could help them see things they might have missed, like connections, patterns.
And in fields that move really fast, like tech or finance.
Oh, yeah.
Those professionals could use custom GPTs to stay ahead of the curve, right?
Absolutely.
Like to quickly go through industry reports or analyze market trends or even get insights into what their competitors are doing.
It'd be like having your own personal research assistant.
Yeah.
One that can handle tons of data and give you exactly what you need.
And think about creative fields. Like writers could use these tools to brainstorm ideas or try out different writing styles.
Yeah, or even get feedback on their work.
And musicians could use them to play around with new sounds,
Yeah.
or generate melodies.
Or even collaborate with the AI to write music.
It's just mind-blowing to think about the possibilities. It feels like we're at the start of something huge,
Yeah.
for creativity and innovation.
It does, doesn't it? And
Yeah.
one of the most exciting things is that these tools could make knowledge and expertise more accessible to everyone. Like anyone with an internet connection could use them.
It could really level the playing field.
Yeah, it would give individuals and smaller organizations access to things that used to be only for big institutions or, really well-funded labs.
That's a really powerful thought.
Mhm.
But, of course, like with any powerful technology, we have to be careful, right?
Oh, absolutely. We have to use them responsibly.
We need to think about bias in algorithms.
Yeah.
And we need to make sure these tools are helping people understand things better, not spreading harmful ideas or misinformation.
And it's important to remember that AI, right now at least, it's not perfect.
Right.
It has limitations. These tools are powerful, but they can't replace human judgment, creativity, that critical thinking piece.
It's so important to keep that in mind.
Mhm.
AI is a tool.
Exactly.
And like any tool, it can be used for good or bad.
It's really up to us to make sure it's used for good to benefit everyone.
Well said. Well, this has been an amazing deep dive into these AI tools. It's been so interesting to explore all of this with you.
It has been. I'm really excited to see what happens with these tools, how they develop.
Me too. And I'm excited to see what people do with them, what they create, how they use them to learn and change the world.
Absolutely.
So, to everyone listening, we hope this has inspired you to learn more about AI
Yeah.
and to discover how you can use these tools to learn and work and create.
Until next time, happy learning.